Greetings, friends. Reformed Stoic here, back again with another video. So I got some eggs, hard, soft boiling in the air fryer right now. It doesn't really matter. I can just leave them sitting in there if they finish before the video's over. But who knows? Maybe I'm trying to just make this a quick one. I got some kind of predictions moving forward. I've made these videos in the past, few and far between. I think the last time I did this, it was kind of on my backup channel, actually. But I've mentioned recently that I'm trusting my intuition more. And the more time goes on, the more I just kind of notice, low-key, that, man, I'm kind of right about everything. So let's just go ahead and make some more predictions, so when they all come true, I can be like, one more again. But no, let's go for it. Let's be serious here. So it seems to me like we're headed towards a time where people who have failed to not be of the world are going to suffer. And it is difficult to not be worldly. It is very difficult to leave the world behind, so to speak. That's the movie that came out on Netflix recently from Obama. And people have a lot of commentary about that movie. All kinds of interesting stuff in there. Maybe that title's just something else. Maybe not. Anyway, I believe that we're headed towards a time where the world is just kind of crashing. I don't know if Jesus is coming back soon, and I don't think that he is. That's my guess, is that we are all going to live through our entire lives, and Jesus is not going to come back within our entire lifetime. That's the way I feel about it. I don't think the system is going to collapse, but I do think the economy is going to continue to struggle. I do think that men are going to continue to leave the workforce. And basically, the pattern of like men failing in society, that's just going to continue. And I feel like men are being brutally forced to accept a minimalist life with a lack of material success and a lack of love. But what I think has happened is that love is dead for the most part, and most men are not even mourning a lack of love. Maybe they think they are, but they're not. They're mourning a lack of sex and the status and validation that comes along with it. You want to have a hot girl under your arm so you can say, hey everybody, look at me, I got this hot girl under my arm, my girl's hotter than yours, I did better than you, I win. Same thing with women. Look at me, I'm with this hot established guy, he's more hot and established than your guy, I did better than you, I win. That's what's basically happened to our generation. That's what computers have done to us. That's what social media has done. Love is dead. And churches are places where boomers go to show pictures of their children. I mean, hold on. let me back up. I was kind of just on a roll blurting stuff out. That took it a little bit too far. Church is God's house. Okay, the Catholic Church, the Orthodox Church, these are holy places of worship. But the best chance that you had to find love in that church was to have been in that church since you were young. I'm getting the idea that it is good to return to church in your older age, but me having found my faith late in life, I just don't even know if I'm really compatible with like a traditional marriage at this point, which is what you're supposed to do. There's not very many options, according to Catholic Church in Orthodoxy. You are supposed to just either get married and have a family, or you're supposed to be celibate. And I kind of feel like there's this unspoken thing where I might be choosing celibacy, and I don't even really know what that means, because the whole entire modern Western spirit is that everybody's waiting for that cheesy song to play when you find the girl at the end of your Hollywood movie. That's how all of us have been programmed. You know, there's this unspoken thing. Eventually Doug is going to marry Patty Mayonnaise. Eventually Hey Arnold. I guess maybe he was going to get with Helga. I don't know. Maybe eventually like Helga was going to like get hot, and then Hey Arnold was going to be like, hell yeah, this chick is obsessed with me, so let's get it. But that was kind of the unspoken thing that everybody agrees upon unconsciously, is that all of us are the movie. See, that's the big picture, guys. Movies are classical conditioning. Monkey see, monkey do. That's what classical conditioning is. When you watch something, you unconsciously conform to it or understand it as reality. Our mind doesn't understand the difference on an unconscious level between what we see on television and real life. So he who controls Hollywood controls people's expectations of real life. And you know, you get all kinds of people saying like, oh, you know, that's just the movies and that's not real life. But that's just something that people say. Unconsciously, we do have agreements on real life, and it's based off of television. Operant conditioning is rewarding behavior that you like with positive stimulus and punishing behavior that you don't like with negative stimulus. And I believe that the masses have been programmed to operantly condition the masses. Ultimately, we realized through trauma-based mind control that people can be controlled with trauma. I believe that people have been taught through the media via classical conditioning to traumatize each other into conforming to social norms. Maybe the trauma-based mind control is a little bit extreme. I think that's in the mix somewhere. There's the eggs. That's in the mix somewhere, but maybe it's just a balance of classical conditioning and operant conditioning. The movies are also teaching us to operantly condition each other. It creates the social norms via classical conditioning, and part of the social norms is bullying, and just that's basically it. Bullying, enforcing the social norms. That's what normies do. Everybody seems to have, or everybody who's not a normie, I don't know what you call people who aren't normies, based, I guess. All the based, woke people who aren't normies, what you're picking up on a normie is that somebody who has been operantly conditioned and classically conditioned, or they've been classically conditioned to operantly condition the world into accepting social norms. So they are like this mini little like bzz, zapper, and whenever you commit wrongthink or say something that you're not supposed to say or do something that you're not supposed to do, they bzz, hey, that's not normal, bzz, punish. They judge you for not being normal. And you know, we, the not normies, we have just kind of broken the conditioning on some level. Some are further than others. I think I'm basically almost all the way. And you know, it's two things. It's twofold. First of all, I think what I'm seeing for me is that I have to accept that I might just be alone my entire life. I'm choosing celibacy, basically. And I think the more my actions conform with being okay with that, that's the best chance I'm going to have to even have the option to get married, you know, or fall in love or whatever. So it starts with accepting celibacy. And what comes along with celibacy is basically just an ascetic lifestyle, you know, less minimalism, being happy with what you have, being happy with a little bit, not needing social status, not needing to be accepted. Basically kind of like that kind of like goofy meme, cringy meme that you see on Reddit where there's like the dog and he's in the burning house and he's like, oh, this is fine. He's drinking the coffee. That basically is what you have to do. That's the test. Is if you can just be okay with everything exactly the way it is. Like me, for example, there's like a lot of people who are obsessed with me and then just literally try to say the most horrible things that they can think to say about me all the time. Which, you know, I'm phasing it out. It's not really a good idea to look at that. So I'm kind of just phasing that out. There's people like spreading rumors about me, and there's people who like believe the rumors when they really shouldn't because there's no proof of anything that anybody's saying. But I basically just have to be okay with that. And the message that I have overall, my prediction for the future is that now is a time where things are going to look very bleak, and you need to accept this leaving behind the world, and maybe you could have had love, but all of us have disobeyed God. And sometimes I think the mistake that people make in church is like, oh, we're all equally sinners in the eyes of God. No, some people did better than others. Some people did better than others, and I know that I messed up. I can't speak for whoever's watching, but I know that I messed up. I was a very worldly person. I talk on and off about, you know, there's been times when I've bullied people just trying to fit in. I went down the whole, like, death metal, occult, dark. I was kind of like a radical atheist and then occultist. And I made all kinds of wrong decisions in my life. So the feeling I have moving forward is that I have to have this blind faith that everything's going to work out. And it's basically going all in on your faith in God. You know, it's like, God's got me. I'm doing what I need to do. I'm working out. I'm abstaining. I'm going to church. You just do everything you're supposed to do. Focus on your goals. Things are going to get really bleak. You're going to be like, yep, everything's fine. Wake up, brush my teeth, work out, read, play drums, do your little routine, and it's going to feel really mundane, and you're not going to feel like a lot of flashy dopamine hits coming, and it's not going to seem like it's going anywhere. But then you just ask yourself, am I doing everything that I'm supposed to do? Yep. And you put your head down and you grind it out and you stop expecting things. And some other things that are going to happen, like you're going to start seeing betrayers. People are going to come out of the woodwork and reveal that like they're a traitor, you know, that like they're not really your friend. And if you're like me, you're probably not going to care that much. And you probably like suspected that they were traitors the entire time. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's not everybody. Maybe that's just my prediction for me. But for me, people that I pretty much already like suspected as being traitors are going to be like, surprise, I was a traitor the entire time. It's like, yeah, you know, I kind of said that a lot of times like over the last couple of years. So, but maybe that's going to be for everybody. And I wouldn't be surprised. So, because people are wrapped up in the world, man, and people are going to be mad at you. Like, there's going to be people who can't leave the world behind, and they're going to resent you for having a better shot of leaving it behind than they have. So, that's the big prediction, is that right now, things are going to start feeling really bleak, and it's going to be a test of your faith. You know, you're going to hold on to the things that you know you need to do. You know, get your whiteboard, write out your schedule, and it's a combination of things that make you happy and help you cope. Positive things like television, movies you like, and then there's some crossovers like working out helps you feel better and it's good for you and it's a positive thing. And then, you know, just whatever your goals are, you know, grinding out work, saving your money, working on your nest egg, working on your projects, blah, blah, blah. And once you know that you're doing everything you need to do, let the days start rolling by, man. You know, when you're playing like a farming game and it's like, okay, I have all the right settings, so let's like speed up time because I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. Maybe that was a weird example, but maybe you know what I'm talking about. Lock in. It's going to be bleak. May, for certain, is going to be bleak. Do your things. Do your routine. Keep going. Stay positive enough. You know, stay in the game. And have faith that everything's going to be okay. And ultimately that faith is in God. And And we're in the fog right now. And we're in the fog, and a lot of people aren't going to make it, and a lot of people are going to reveal themselves to be traitors, and it's probably not going to surprise you, and things are going to get really ugly, and you're just going to be hanging on to your faith. So we're all walking in the fog, and some people are going to lose it in the fog because they don't really have faith, and you're being tested, and ultimately you got here because you didn't really, live a life that was pleasing to God for most of your life. It's nice that you found your faith in the last couple of years, hopefully, but you're just now getting the hang of it, and now God's testing your faith. So you got to just keep going, even though things feel pretty stale, and things feel pretty stale for me, and that's how I was kind of talking on stream today, is if negative numbers are negative and positive numbers are positive, I'm 0.00000000, man. Life is black and white. Just living, just being, no complaints, no poetically waxing about how happy I am. Almost have to pinch myself to remind myself that I'm still here, because it just kind of feels like a daydream, man. Or it just kind of feels like, you ever have just a dream that seems really pointless, It feels like that. It's like you're trying to analyze what your dream meant. It's like, oh, I had a dream that I went to the store and picked up a tape dispenser and then put it down. And then a guy said, hey, how's it going? And I said, oh, good. Okay, bye. And then I woke up. What does it mean? What does Jung think it means? What does Freud think it means? It doesn't really seem like it means anything. Things are feeling pretty meaningless right now, guys, and I can tell that some other people are struggling. It's time to prove your faith to God. Everything's going to be okay. God's not going to leave you hanging. But maybe right now it feels like he will, and your faith isn't even really as strong as you thought, and you're starting to think, oh, maybe this is all a cope, and everything I'm doing is cope, and there is no God, and holy crap, But that's not what I think. I got faith, man, and I think everything's going to be okay. And there's nothing else to say about it. So, maybe this video is worth something. Maybe it wasn't. I'm going to make an egg salad sandwich and watch a goofy movie. God bless.